Falcon Incorporated has the following transactions with Wildcat Corporation. And here's what we're asked to do. For each transaction, indicate whether Falcon would report the related account in the balance sheet or the income statement. All right, and then for accounts in the balance sheet, we need to indicate whether it would be classified as an asset, a liability, or stockholders' equity. And for the income statement, we need to indicate whether it is a revenue and expense. And then finally, we need to indicate whether we would classify it as an operating, investing, or financing activity. All right, so Falcon purchases common stock of Wildcat. Okay, they're not issuing they're not issuing new stock. They're buying the stock of another company, so they're making an investment. Now, when we make an investment, we record that investment on the balance sheet. What account? Well, it's an asset account. We would have an account probably called Investment in Wildcat, right? It has future economic value. And since we're making an investment and it impacts long-term assets, that would be an investing activity. Okay, now Falcon also borrows from Wildcat by signing a note. So now they're borrowing. That represents an obligation. We would record it as notes payable. That would be recorded on the balance sheet as well, only this time it's a liability. Okay, anytime we impact long-term liabilities or owner's equity except when it impacts net income for the period, that's a financing activity. Okay, the third one, Falcon provides services to Wildcat. So now we're just, providing revenues. We either sell products or we provide a service. Both of those are revenues. So that's a service revenue that gets recorded on the income statement, and we would record it in a revenue account, and that's obviously an operating activity. Anything that hits the income statement usually, reports on the income statement. Now, then they pay interest to Wildcat on the borrowing. Now, this can be confusing at times. Since it's interest expense, we're not paying back the note. We're not making a payment of any kind. We're just incurring the interest. We treat that interest, let me move this out of the way now. We treat that interest on the income statement. That's an expense, and all revenues and expenses at this point in our accounting understanding will be treated as an operating activity.